Hi, this is Roger. Thanks for dropping by. I know I said I wasn't buying any orchids this year. I'm trying to downsize, but I did make an exception because I wanted to try a new genus. I said if I see any Draculas around that I fancy, I might get a couple to try them. I mean, in theory, if the Masdevallias don't do bad and the Restrepias do okay, then so should Draculas. But I did have a proviso. Some Draculas bloom from the base of the plant. You have to grow them in open baskets, sort of hanging, and the blooms come out the bottom of the basket. Well, I can't have any like that have that blooming style, because they'd have to be hung up. And to hang them up, they'd be up in the heat. And the idea is to keep them cool. So I was only interested in ones that bloom from the base of the plant upwards. Well, I managed to find one. We had great fun with this. I had no phone signal at all at the Wessex show, which is typical, to say the least. One of the vendors there has a card machine for credit debit card things, and he has trouble getting a signal on that. So if you want to buy something on a card from that guy, from Peter White, he has to go out in the car park and hold it up in the air to get a signal, which is quite amusing. Arthur was showing off their new card machine because it latches on to any Wi-Fi that's local, so it works basically anywhere. So he had a big smile on his face. And while he had a big smile on his face, I said, "Got any Draculas?" And he said, "I don't think so. But in the back of my mind, when I was setting up the display, I'm sure I saw one. Let's have a look." It took quite a while to find because it was in amongst loads of other things and wasn't blatantly obvious that it was a Dracula, because they do look quite like Masdevallias, and they had a lot of those. Anyway, I got one, and I'm not prepared to buy an orchid that's not in bloom without seeing what the blooms look like. So here we go again, no phone signal. So Peter White's assistant was behind the counter on her phone. So I said, "Have you got a decent signal there?" She said, "Yeah, it's not too bad." I said, "Good enough to do a Google search?" "Yeah." So I said, "Can you look a plant up for me? I want to see what the blooms are like." So she just gave me the phone and said, "Well, you do it." So I managed to Google the plant, have a look at the blooms, and they're not bad. Anyway, I'll see if I can do this with one hand. Probably be easier that way, won't it? Oh, good old Arthur, not 6 million tons of... There we go then, my first proper Dracula. And the good thing is, I was just going to say, it has bloomed before, but that actually looks like a spike that hasn't bloomed yet, that may, but I don't know them well enough. It certainly has old bloom spikes on it, so it's blooming size. Nice set of new growths coming, couple there, another one buried in there. So it looks like quite a healthy plant. I mean, there's loads of new leaves on it. Here, tucked in there. These two are quite new. You can tell the difference in the colour. So it's obviously in active growth at the moment. I haven't got it out the pot to see what it's like in the pot yet. But there we go. Dracula pulsilla. Sorry, pusilla. Sounds like Priscilla, spelt wrong, doesn't it? Anyway, I had a look at it, and there's quite attractive blooms on it. And as I say, I'm not going mad buying loads of orchids this year, but I did say if I spot a Dracula or two, or maybe three, I would get some in, because the area where that's going to live, I do actually have some room. So, you know, I haven't got to squash things up to get a new plant in. Otherwise I wouldn't have got it. But yeah, haul of one. Nice plant. Loads of new growth. I suspect that's got a good root system in there as well. I will have a look. And yeah, as I say, I'm not sure whether that is a new spike, because the older spikes have sort of looked like they've died back, and that one looks fresh. Anyway, we shall see. It's another one of those wait and see, and we'll find out what happens. But it's a nice healthy plant. I'm pleased with that. So good stuff. One of a couple, not many. One of a couple. See you next time.